What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday morning. I'm live a couple hours earlier than I normally would be live because uh, Chris let me know that the chiropractor is coming by the house. I didn't realize that she had scheduled him to come, so um, today is voting day in our part of the world, and he's gonna go vote, and then he's coming by the house, and then it could be at 11, it could be at 1, it could be at 3. I really have no idea what time he's coming, but when he came a couple of, when did he come? Today's Sunday. I think he came on Friday, Thursday or Friday. He was here at like 1:30 or 2, so, but today he doesn't have work. Today he's just going to vote, so I'm assuming he's going to be here earlier. So I decided to do a Starfield stream early, because I don't know if I'll be able to do any streams later on today. All right. Look at that shotgun. It's not my favorite weapon, but it is a weapon. I think my favorite weapon so far is this Revenant. This thing is ugly as sin, but pretty cool. Followed by, if I could ever find like a legendary version of the Tombstone, I would be really happy. I really like this gun right here. Here, let's take a look at what it looks like. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Tasty. It's a shame that the set of armor, the spacesuit I'm wearing isn't a legendary set. It's just a regular old bounty hunter spacesuit. I need to sell that. And this weapon's cool and all, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's just basically it was a laser weapon to have one. Need to sell that too. Where am I, by the way? I was recording a video. We can go over and sell. Oh no, I'm gonna hold on to that. It is a good game, Panda. I had somebody ask me the other day why I wasn't playing like V Rising right now, because I did get, I got a free key for V Rising, and the company gave me a couple of keys to give out to friends, and I did give some keys away to people. And I was like, well, V Rising is fun and everything, but as much fun as I'm having with V Rising, there's still some wonkiness to the control scheme. It's a really good game. It really is a good game. But there's some wonkiness with the controller scheme, and I don't want to play it with mouse and keyboard. So until they sort out the controller clunkiness, I'll pass. And the thing is like the traffic is still pretty good for Starfield. Like, I always tell people, like, if I go beyond episode 10 in a Let's Play series, you know that the traffic is paying my bills, because I don't make a living off of subscriptions and donations and super chats and bits and cheers and all those things. Those help a lot, but I still make like 80% of my revenue comes from advertising from YouTube and Twitch. So as a result, I need to be playing things that have good numbers, and Starfield is still giving me good numbers, it's good. I'm up to, this'll be this episode right here. This is, I think, the episode 18 of the stream. It'll be episode 100 plus. It's like 100, 101, 102, 103, however long ago. We're actually into the 100s now with the episode count. That's how you know it's doing well for the channel still. And I do enjoy it. It's a good game. And I still haven't even gotten into the shipbuilding or the outpost stuff yet. Alright, what quest were we working on? Meet the Ebside Strikers. Oh, that's right, we came to Neon to do some quests here this morning. There's a sneeze tickling away at the back of my nose, man. I don't know where it is. It was there and then it went away. Spiced worms.
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find some more?
You hush, Sarah.
Keep moving. The scanners won't hurt.
Ebside Strikers. This is one of those activity things that popped up.
Clover over at Kelpcorp? She's too good for Neon. Sounds like she's trying to help someone or something. Honestly, kind of tuned her out.
That'll be an activity. Yep.
Sleep crates for rent. It's tight.
Ebside's changed.
Hey, no funny stuff with that.
So come on in.
Madame Sauvage.
Enjoy some your own company. And toss back.
Something you might be interested in.
What are you looking at? This? This is Ebside Striker's turf.
Only
Okay.
the upstairs. Don't bother my customers.
Fine, upstairs. That's gang territory, got it?
Sure. If you're trying to scare me, you're failing badly.
Yeah, back in the day, you would never. Ugh. Yeah, you used to be people were afraid of the Strikers. We had a name, got it? Now the disciples got us penned up in this lousy bar.
Andrea!
Fine, fine, fine. This beautiful establishment. Do you have anything else, or are we done with this? Whatever this is.
I've heard of your gang. I need to talk to the person in charge.
So you stroll in here and want to meet with Briggs? The nerve. Maybe you should meet with the business end of my shiv, huh, tourist?
No blood in my shop, Andrea. I'm this close to tossing the lot of you out on the street.
Fine, fine already. You're lucky. Only way you see Briggs is if you, want to join the Ebside Strikers.
Take me to Briggs.
You know, I'll just do that. Right now. This ought to be good. Sure, let's go meet the boss.
It's a side quest. Why not? Her jacket is atrocious, man. Oh, excuse me. But, Velocity Blue. I guess I don't have to wait on her, do I? Or I probably should, because she's probably going to have dialogue for her boss.
What's this?
Someone says they might want to join.
A recruit? Been a while.
I know, right? Savage says we can't go killing people around here anymore.
We shouldn't be doing that anyhow. You want to join us? We're a gang. You understand that, right?
He's against killing.
Not
That's a
some
good
daring
sign.
adventure bullshit you can brag to your friends about. We steal, we mug, we kill if we have to. People that come to us have usually run out of options. So are you really interested?
I'm only here to deal with the disciples. They're a menace.
There was a time when we were the only ones that kept those psychos in line. But I'll get to that.
What's up,
Let me
Profound?
tell you about us. What makes the Strikers different?
By the
is
way,
we're
Profound,
family.
I went digging through
It's us
YouTube the other
against
day. You
every
said you thought you
goddamn
were
thing the world
like
can
banned
throw
on
at us.
on my YouTube channel.
If
I
you're
can't
in,
find your
we'll
name
go through
anywhere in
hell
the
and back for
list,
you.
like of
It's been a little
people
too much
that
of that
are.
hell going
There's
around.
hundreds of names in
Vogel,
that list,
not the
but I didn't
time.
find any.
We do everything we can
You
to
said
make
it's the
sure
same
everyone's
username
got
that
a
you use
roof
on
overhead
Twitch, so
and
I don't. I'm
fish
at a
in their
loss,
belly.
man.
I prefer we fleece the marks, not kill them. Better for everyone in the long run. But you do what you gotta do.
All right. Why do you keep the gang from killing people?
Ebside is where all the loser and sad stories end up once Neon and Administrator Bayou has used them up. Surviving here ain't easy. Sometimes blood's got
Because
to flow
Dreamwild
just to get
mentioned that the
food
other day
based
too.
on your plate.
She's
But we
oh,
only
she can
take what we
talk on
have to.
Twitch, but for some reason she says she thinks her account is like banned on my YouTube channel. So I don't know. It's like YouTube will sometimes take it upon themselves if people have shared. Yeah, I know on YouTube. Like if somebody has shared a link or something, or if there's weird things that happen with vocabulary sometimes, and YouTube gets a little aggressive with things. So, but Dreamwild mentioned the same thing because she's fine on Twitch, but she can't talk on YouTube. So I really don't know. I went looking for both of your names and found nothing in there. It could also just be user error on my end of not seeing the names because there are hundreds and hundreds of names in there. So I'm at a loss as to what that might be.
This is pointless.
So not sure. What's up, Belinar? Profound just did third month in a row. Hang on, let me write that down. 3 months in a row subscribing on Twitch. Thanks for the support. Oh, it's different than Profound Pearl then. Hang on. All right, I'll take another look next time I go into the YouTube stuff, and I'll see what I can see.
Not so fast. I gotta get to know you first. What would you bring to the Strikers?
What's up, Akazar? I'm a problem solver. You'd be lucky to have me.
Very useful. I like it. Done anything special? Something that might impress us?
Don't tell anyone, but I'm the Mantis.
Sure you are. Just don't tell Hatchet that. That girl worships the Mantis.
I'm not sure what your game is, but if you really want to join, there's a test. You're going up against the Disciples. Everyone in Ebside's been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Some people snap, and snap hard. The Disciples are maniacs, pure and simple. The test is to find out.
Oh, I forgot to
who's
do my
been
final
arming those
review for
nutjobs
Hellblade
with
2. It looks like
military-grade
we're on my
hardware.
list right now. I'll try to record that today. Do I really need to take a test, buddy?
If you're a striker, it means the Disciples are going to come after you hard. But you do this, we know you can hack it, and you're willing to risk your neck.
All right, let's do it.
We're fully in alignment there.
I can't understand this sudden urge to join the Strikers gang. I can think of about 100 better ways you could be spending your time.
You know what? I'm going to leave you
There's a
parked on the
warehouse
ship
they
if all you do
use.
is
One of
bitch
our
and moan,
friends said
Sarah.
there's a slate there that has the info we need.
Oh, that's my job. Was going to go in and make them pay.
You want it? Too bad, Vogel. You go in there, and it's a bloodbath. I want someone that can snatch it from them. Ideally with them never even knowing it happened. Consider this your audition. Try not to get killed, new fish.
What is the name of that Dr. Seuss book?
I can't
One
believe
fish, two
you're
fish, red
actually
fish, blue
going to do
fish.
this. You pulled this off, and I'll be your #1 fan. Yeah,
Alright.
catch you later.
All right, Sarah, Mrs. Cranky Pants. Who is Hatchet? I want to talk to Hatchet.
If you hurt any of the strikers, I will break you.
Oh, so you don't want to talk about the mantis? All right.
Maybe you'd like to try a velocity?
Why did you follow me upstairs, madame?
No customer. Bienvenue. Before you order, I have 2 simple rules you need to know. Oh, this is my place. That means everyone in here is under my protection. You don't mess with them, they don't mess with you. Deux. If you're buying drinks, you better have cash. Madame Sauvage does not offer credit.
No
Good?
credit.
Ça c'est bon?
Hatchet will talk to me later after I've done the intro mission? Okay, cool, man. Completely understood. You won't have any trouble from me.
Finally, someone who listens and does what they're told. A rare commodity in Epside. I like you already.
I can personally vouch for my colleague here and make sure that he behaves.
So, what can Madame Sauvage get you? Have you come to try velocity, perhaps? Or do you prefer something with a little less kick?
Wouldn't mind seeing a menu.
Of course, of course. And
I don't need anything from you at the moment. What about information? Oh, no, we're good.
we'll see you again soon, yeah?
Let's see. Profound. Hey, I'm gonna write this down. This is gonna be a rant. This is gonna be a discussion point. What timestamp this? Alright, so Profound Pearl says over on Twitch, people who are moaning about Starfield on Reddit, man, these people sound like whiny little kids. Yeah, so there were definitely some legitimate criticisms about the game when it launched, some of which I covered in my original review of the game back in like October or whenever it was of last year. Things like, you know, it did, on consoles at least, it sucked to have it locked at 30 frames, and the fact that it didn't have an aim assist kind of sucked. And the maps definitely needed work, so like the map additions that they added on the May 15th patch were really kind of needed things, I think. And then the performance mode for the consoles was a much needed thing. And then throwing all the survival options in there was a big deal, and adding land vehicles, which are still coming in the pipeline. Those are all big things. That were like quality of life features and polish that, for better or for worse, every game adds polish after the fact. I mean, I always, you know, I like to look at last year's darling child, Baldur's Gate 3. It swept the awards, right? It won every single award that there was to win in the gaming industry. It's like the #1 most awarded game of all time. And yet, Baldur's Gate 3 launched with thousands, and I mean thousands. All you have to do is look at the patch notes, everybody. It launched with thousands of bugs, thousands of performance issues, thousands of just little things, and they patched 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 and they patched, and they made it better over time. Every company does the same thing. People who refuse to give Bethesda a pass for that need to get the punt. Like, there's no reason to give one company a pass and not the other. So people who rant and bitch and moan about how Bethesda sucks and Todd Howard this, Todd Howard that, and blah, 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 just for the sake of ranting, they have no room to stand on because they give all the other games a pass. Then there's the people who just genuinely hate Todd Howard for some odd reason or another, and I don't understand that at all, because the guy has been at the forefront of some of the, you know, most beloved game franchises of all time. So that one I don't get either. I just feel like some people like to bitch just for the sake of bitching. And I'll give you the perfect example. I don't follow this individual, but I see him on TikTok all the time. I believe his name is Luke Stevens, and someone's going to probably get triggered that I'm calling him out here, and I'm sure this will get clipped out and shown to him. But, you know, he has a very large platform, and I've never seen him say anything positive about anything, ever. The only videos that I ever see trending on TikTok are him complaining about things. He seems to sit on Twitch or YouTube, wherever he streams, and he just bitches and moans about everything. don't know that I've really ever seen him say anything positive about any game ever. So I used this term the other day in one of my discussion videos about how some people just want to create rage bait, because rage bait pays the bills. Rage bait videos get thousands and thousands of views because people like to watch train wrecks and people want to rage about all these various things that they think that they're angry about. I don't know why that applies to Starfield. I feel like it's interesting to me that you'll see people complaining about, oh, the mechanics in Starfield suck. So they'll rant and rave about how all the things they hate about Starfield, but they won't rant and rave about all the job layoffs that have been happening in the gaming industry. So they can hate on mechanics, but they won't hate the game companies that are firing all these people for profit, whether it's Microsoft or, you know, whatever the company is that's firing thousands and thousands of employees. So the anger and the ire of a lot of these little internet trolls is totally misguided because they're upset about the wrong things. Mechanics are mechanics. Like, every game does things differently. The other thing is the people who want Starfield to be something that it's not. Like, we see this, there was a discussion maybe 6 or 8 months ago about somebody was complaining that CCP, the company behind EVE Online, has tried to do an EVE Online based first person shooter like half a dozen times now. They've spent tens of millions of dollars developing different variations of a first person shooter set in the EVE Online universe, and they keep trying and it keeps failing, and they keep trying and it keeps failing. They do it over and over and over. And someone said at some point, stay to your lane, stay in your lane, stop trying to do things that your audience doesn't want. And that's the thing, like, if you're a game company and you try to do anything that's outside of the box, you try to do something that you've never done before, you are going to get crucified on the internet for not doing the thing that made you famous in the first place. But in the same token, if you make a game that's different or too different from what you did before, that same audience is going to try to crucify you because you didn't stick in your lane. So there's this cesspool of rage bait internet trolls who seem to solely exist for the purpose of shitting on game companies for not doing things exactly the way they want. And my general response to those people is, when you have a multi-million-dollar game franchise and you've won awards and you've made a successful game, you have the right to come back and bitch about things. Until that point, shut the fuck up. Like, you have no right to talk about things or to complain about things when all you've ever done is sit on your couch and play games. Making games is hard. Whether you're talking a little indie project with 3 people, or an MMORPG that has a team of 50, or a big AAA game like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something that has, 1,500 employees scattered across the globe over a 6-year development period. Like, making games is hard because everyone has opinions about what does or doesn't work, or what is or isn't the right way to do things. Yeah, Akazar says, sounds like a big part of internet culture, the constant bitching and complaining about other people. It's very true. And it doesn't just apply to games, by the way. It's also TV shows. Like, anytime I post anything positive about Star Wars, the trolls come out of the woodwork because, oh, Disney, we hate Disney. Disney Star Wars sucks. George Lucas's Star Wars was the only one that was good. Disney ruined Star Wars. And they fail to, they seem to have forgotten that at the same time, these are the same people who bitched and moaned about the prequel trilogies. They bitched and moaned about the Star Wars Christmas special. They bitched and moaned about the Ewok movies on TV. And they bitched and moaned at George Lucas when he did the THX, or not the THX, but the special editions when suddenly Han no longer shot first. Like, these same people who used to bitch about all the things that George Lucas did, now look at George Lucas and say he was an angel, he never did anything wrong, and Disney's the problem. And it's like, no, you're the problem. You are toxic fandom. You are toxic. You just have toxicity in your veins. So there just seems to exist a subset of the internet culture who exists solely to bitch and moan about everything, and it doesn't really matter what it is. So what I do now, what I used to do, is I would interact with the trolls because I get paid for interactions on YouTube, right? So you give them snarky responses and they come back, and you keep them coming back, and you get paid all the time. But I've gotten past that now. The channel's big enough that I don't really need to do that to provoke views. So now what I do is literally just the moment I see anyone, if you go watch my Starfield videos, you'll see legitimate complaints in the comments from people. I leave legitimate complaints. But the moment I see people just come on the video and say Starfield sucks, and that's all they say, or like Todd Howard sucks, he needs to burn in a fire, Bethesda sucks, they need to die in a fire. The moment I see those kind of comments, I literally just hide user from channel, hide user from channel, hide user from channel. I just immediately hide those people from the channel. And I don't need them here. I don't want them here. They don't serve a purpose. They're just a waste of space, and they're just a waste of oxygen. So I don't worry about those people anymore. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion and everything else, but you shouldn't be allowed to try to ruin someone else's fun. So when someone is posting something positive about Starfield or posting positive about anything, whether it's Star Trek or Star Wars or anything else, you know, it's not right that people should try to shit in that person's Cheerios just because they don't like X, Y, or Z. And if it was in the real world, nobody does that face to face, right? They only do it on the internet because they can get away with it because of the anonymity of being on the internet, and there not being any repercussions for being an absolute douche canoe. It's like yeah, Akazar has a good point. Poking fun at things is fine. Like, I poke fun at the companions in this game all the time because their bark, the dialogue barks, are annoying as hell. Like Sarah's sitting here bitching, and it makes sense because that's her, you know, that's her alignment, you know. But at the same time, she'll make all these stupid comments sometimes, and like the worst is Barrett. You run around with Barrett, and he's always like, Dusty, Dusty, Dusty. Like, just shut up, Barrett, go away. You know, like. The jank in Bethesda is real. Like, you'll see some jank from time to time, but that doesn't make it an unfun game. It doesn't mean that it's broken. It's just the jank in Bethesda games. So, to circle back around to the original comment that Profound had made about the people on Reddit who sound stupid and all they do is bitch and moan. It is stupidity is what it boils down to. Because it's okay to nitpick little things. But when did this game launch? Last October? September? I forget when this game launched, but it launched 8-9 months ago, right? If you're still hung up on Starfield and how you don't like Starfield, and you're 8 months beyond the game having been out, you've got some problems up here that you need to get sorted, because there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of other games that have launched since Starfield came out. And if you're still hung up on that one thing, that's a you problem. Like, that's totally a you problem, because there are way too many other games that you could be playing and legitimately having criticisms about. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a good example. It was a good game. It had a lot of flaws, like the fact that there was no mob variety. That was an issue, because they promised this huge thing, and then you get there and it's like, oh no, we're killing the same wolves and bandits and goblins with different skin colors, and it's like, oh look, we've got 20 different types of goblins. It's like, no, you don't. You have 20 different variants of goblins. They're just different skinned versions. Those are not different goblins. Those are not different wolves. Those are not different ogres. They're all just skinned differently. So there was no mob variety in that game, and so it became very repetitive and boring. And then the creative director making the commentary about how we don't have fast travel in our game because fast travel means that your game is boring if you need. And I'm like, dude, the third time that I had to go from point A to point B, and it was a 45-minute journey, and I was fighting the same goblins over and over and over, your game just became boring. Your game just became the most boring thing I've ever played, and I want fast travel, because I do not want to have to fight 20 variants of goblins every time I just want to go find a cave or take a trip to the next town over. And those are legitimate complaints that you can make about a game. But notice that if you watch my channel, when was the last time I talked about Dragon's Dogma 2? When I played it. When I gave a review of it over that 2-week span or 3-week span that I played Dragon's Dogma 2, and I played it, I talked about it, I reviewed it, and I moved on. You know? I haven't talked about Starfield since I did my first playthrough until May 15th. Not a peep from me. I played other games. I had Rogue Trader, I had Dragon's Dogma 2, we had lots of World of Warcraft, I had V Rising, I had, I can't even remember all the games I've played since then. So the people who are still hung up on Starfield and still hung up on Bethesda, and all they do is rant and rave about how Starfield was this horrible game and Bethesda's a horrible company and everything else, hide from channel, hide from channel, hide from channel, hide from channel. I have no problems hiding those people from the channel. I don't want them here, I don't need them here. They don't serve any purpose on my channel. They don't serve any purpose for my community. I have people watching my channel and watching my videos because they like Starfield. So that's the community I want to foster. I want to foster the people that are having fun in this game. It's okay to criticize. We can criticize the barks and the jank, and we wish there was more to do here, and we can't wait to have more POIs and planets, and we want this, and we can't wait for land vehicles, and we want this, that, and the other. Nothing wrong with that. Like, that's legitimate discussion around the game. But bitch and moan and just rant about how these things suck, yeah, get out of here. Anyway, that's my rant about Starfield trolls. But also, on a final note, as I talk about Starfield trolls, thank you so much, Starfield trolls, because even though you're hidden from the channel, you still contribute to the views. And I have so many people who they don't know they've been hidden from the channel. So the way YouTube does it is it just hides their commentary from my viewers and from me. So they're yelling into the void, screaming about how much they hate the channel. And yet their commentary is completely invisible to everyone, and they don't know that. And so they're contributing to me getting a paycheck because they're still watching my videos and still helping me get paid. So I want to say thank you to the Starfield trolls, because your rage bait hard on for Bethesda makes sure that my videos continue to pop up in the algorithm for people that really, really like Starfield and want to play the game and enjoy the game. It's awesome. It is beautiful, Akazar. I love it. It's a great time to be alive. By the way, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, everybody. Because you'll get more stuff like this as we continue to play.
What if I just stormed into Benjamin Bayou's office and demanded the job? You think he'd like that?
Thanks for that discussion rant. Profound. That'll be a good one to pull out for tomorrow morning's video.
But what if he doesn't like it? I'd be screwed.
Not necessarily. I believe that when a door closes, it is simply the universe.
Barrett reminds you a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson, a little bit. Akazar says as soon as I get my hands on the creator pack, they're having their barks reduced by a huge percentage. And they're going to get their own unique affinity template. Nice.
Pull up a chair and have a drink.
I've been applying to different medical groups in the area.